Hi, everybody. My name is Gillian Murray. I'm actually here with these wonderful group of ladies, and a few good men are in the audience. So if we are streaming live right now. So if you're able to share this with your friends and family and those that you love and care about, please do so, because we want to make sure this message reaches everybody. We are all about real talk. So this is an opportunity to invite anybody and everybody about having those conversations. So we've just started our first one last week. If you didn't get a chance to watch that, if you have a chance to get a hold of the recording or see the Facebook Live that was shared, please go back and look at it. That was a great talk that we had last week. Tonight's topic is all about whether or not I should detox, or is it the right time to detox, or detox or not detox? What is the good way to think about that? So I don't know about you, but I've actually gone through a lot over the last couple of years, and one of the actions that did help with my wellness journeys was actually going on my first ever detox. I'd never detoxed before. I knew about toxins. I knew about mental toxins. I knew about environmental toxins. I knew about pesticides, but I never, ever took the time to clean up my plumbing the way that I did when I went to see Dr. Roni at Martha's Vineyard. So 3 weeks of doing a detox with the expert, the celebrity doctor, I lost 31 pounds. I released so much out of my system that I became a whole new me. So imagine doing that. And it opened up my biggest floodgates in terms of my appreciation about making sure I clean out my trash can. And I know Dr. Roni makes fun of that all the time, but it's really, really important of understanding what we absorb and how it affects your body. So tonight's topic of discussion is finding out the truth about detoxing, why we should detox, and then in some cases, why not, like why we don't detox, excuse me. So without further ado, there's some people showing up into the room. So again, please share this to your Facebook wall, invite some friends that have been questioning about detoxing, because we do have some really great speakers tonight, and I think it's really important message for everybody. So before we get started, there's some ladies on this screen that you can see here. We have Rosanna Holt. She's a gastroenterologist from Dominican Republic, and she's actually, is that right? And she's here to give some insights for not only her background, but also let us know a little bit about what it was like to actually do a detox under the care of Dr. Roni. Then we have Dr. Roni. Dr. Roni is a fabulous celebrity detox based out of Martha's Vineyards, and most people know who she is. She's the author of 21 Pounds in 21 Days, and New York bestseller. If you haven't seen The View, or if you haven't gone on TV back in the day, you saw her. She was everywhere. Everybody that was introducing knew who Dr. Roni was. And they all went to Martha's Vineyard, to go hang out with her. All the celebrities would hang out with her because they were the underlying secret weapon was Dr. Roni and how to lose weight in 21 pounds in 21 days. So the secret's now out, right? But it's not just about weight loss, it's about wellness. And we also have the privilege of the wonderful, beautiful, passionate. I mean, based on a conversation I had with Gabriela today, I didn't realize how much passion she had about making sure she was not only a health and wellness advocate for her family, but spreading the word of what she's learned and heard and seen. This is part of the real talk. And the reason why we're doing this today is that we want people to know that there are alternatives. There is an option to heal in different ways. You just need to ask the right questions, and you need to be introduced to the right protocols or processes. That's where we're going to walk away with today. Okay, so if you're on the call right now, please mute yourself. So because I really do want to make sure that we have the opportunity to meet with these wonderful ladies, hear from them, and then at the end of the call, we'll open up with some questions, and maybe potentially I'll give you an opportunity to connect these wonderful ladies so that you can ask more questions with them later on when we leave this Zoom. So just again, this is a weekly meeting that we're doing every week. Next week's meeting is going to be about immunity. You're going to want to be on that call. We'll talk more about that. Okay. Dr. Roni.
Well, first of all, you already know that I think we should detox. Of course, there's people that shouldn't, but there's not a lot of people that shouldn't. But we know when we have to detox. And the more I've been doing the detoxes, the more I realize that people tell me they need to detox. So what are the signs? The signs are all over the place. The signs are, oh, I have a headache. I don't feel good. My skin looks horrible. I've gained a lot of weight. I'm nauseous. And, some of the major symptoms are GI. Hey, doc, the GI docs here. When people tell you they're bloated, they have a lot of gas, smelly gas, they can't eat anything, everything that they eat, they gain a lot of weight, they're not processing their food is devoid of nutrients. They open up bags, they open up bottles, they open up cans, and it's devoid of nutrition. So all of that toxic food get into your system. At some point, your body doesn't know what to do with it. Your GI system is so messed up. Your liver is just sluggish. You just feel it all. I was just, by the way, I saw somebody the other day, and, I knew the person was toxic just by looking at their legs. Can you imagine by looking at someone's legs? If you see it's shiny and puffy, then you know that their lymphatic system is congested. I mean, I can spend an hour on the signs why you need to detox. Not going to do that, but I'm just letting you know that people do know. People know. They tell me this: my skin is itchy and dry. I don't know what to do. My poop is hard. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I have diarrhea. Another classic sign that you need to detox, but you don't know this, is you're not hungry. Now, I know there's a lot of people that say, but I'm hungry all the time. But there are some people that are so toxic that they're just not hungry. Hope that answers your question.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So that's a good reason why I should be detoxing. Now, question here is, I'm going to ask Dr. Rosanna. Okay, you tell me your experience, because you're a gastroenterologist and you deal with this. I'd like to know your experience with doing Dr. Roni's detox, but then I'd like you to give feedback on why you think somebody should not do a detox. Okay. Yes, yeah, you have to unmute. Perfect.
I'm unmuted.
You're asking Dr. Rosanna, you're asking me?
Rosanna, Dr. Rosanna, as to well, first of all, let's just introduce how you guys met. You guys met each other through a program that Dr. Roni was doing, a beta testing for an online program that she did. And you met her because you were introduced to the idea of the concept of being able to do a different type of detox, right? Now, I'd like you to just share a little bit about that story, and then maybe explain, based on your knowledge, why somebody might not want to do a detox, or why they shouldn't do from an expert's perspective.
Okay. It's for me, right? Right,
Yes,
Gillian? Okay. Well, the first time that I spoke to Dr. Roni was a really great experience. I remember that Claudia invited me to see this program, to see what was in this program. By that time, everybody knows that we all try to be very healthy, and we take care of our body, and we do the best. I was doing the same. However, once in a while, I was feeling pain in my body, and I didn't like that. But you just move. You try to suffocate the pain, and just maybe take one extra capsule, or take care more, do more exercise. But that was that I wasn't not feeling good. And I remember that Claudia called me exactly in the best moment. And when she mentioned the word, we going for a program that's going to help us with inflammation. When she said that, I go, sign me up. I'm going there. She says, come tonight. You're going to hear the Dr. Roni. And when I went there, I go like, oh, definitely, I need this. I need it. And we all know that we do really, twice a year, 3 times a year. We do the regular cleaning, the cleansing. That's what I was doing too. However, I couldn't get away my pain once in a while. In my family, we have arthritis, which is very close to our neck, like we said. And I was afraid. I'm not a baby with my years. I go like, I don't want to get that. And when I hear about that detox and how Dr. Roni explained why we were needing that, I go like, this is another type of cleaning. The cleaning that I usually know is the regular cleaning when we clean pipes. But this is another level. This is a cellular level cleansing. I had to be there. And there is something special that Dr. Roni does. And that was amazing for me. She has a big group at that time. And she has a phone call 1 by 1. Because one of the things that Dr. Roni does is she make everybody feel special, but not only that, she make every individual different one another, because that's what we are. And she focused exactly in every one of us in particular. And so we started train the detox program. I was very much into it. I love every month. Dr. Roni, I make every copy of everything that you did over there, everything you share. I make a copy and I have it. And I want to tell you one thing. I thought, I'm going to share with my team and I'm going to teach them. I'm going to do it with them. And then I realized, no, I cannot do that. Dr. Roni is the one that knows how to do it. I go, no, Rosanna, hold on. So anyways, I went through all the process and that was amazing how I could see one by one, like you say, I was one by one losing pounds. And like you said, this is like a secondary effect of the detox. But the main thing was taking away my pain. And I can tell you that went my way for a long time. And I'm so glad that you are here with us, Dr. Roni, because I was looking for that again. And I'm so glad that you are here. And I'm so glad that we're going to restart again that, because I can't wait to jump on that again, honestly, because I'm needing it again.
Yeah.
So Rosanna, so it sounds like you had a good experience. And remember, like your background, when I go back and look at where you've come from, I just want to share a little bit more about who Dr. Rosanna Holt is. So you were born and raised in Dominican Republic. You always dreamed of becoming a doctor from a young age, a goal she achieved many years. Start your video. Oh, sorry. Thank you. I didn't realize I wasn't on video. So thank you for that. It's good. It's why we have other faces here. Thank you very much. But based on becoming a doctor from a young age, a goal you achieved many years later, and after the death of your mother. So that, don't get me started with that, okay? She studied diligently at one of the largest universities in her country, the Autonomous University of Santo Domingo. She specialized in community work in the community where she was born, and later returned to study at the Salvador B. Gautier Teaching Hospital to become a specialist in gastroenterology. She completed her studies and training at the Social Security Hospital in Mexico, and currently she's now working part-time at one of the hospitals in her community and dedicates the rest of her time to her family, and is living the rest of her time, working with the family, but also as a networker. And Rosanna, the fact that you're able to do that and give time to your family speaks it's unbelievable. And you're honoring your mother by being a great mother. So thank you for that. Okay. But I just thought it was great for you to give that little testimonial, because you've got this experience. This is what you're an expert in, and then you did something different and you got results. So you
I
actually
did.
experienced something that you'd never done before, just like I never experienced even just doing a detox before, and I got results. So sometimes alternative ways of healing are something that you can look at, but you just have to be surrounded by the right people and the right, connections. So this is
Absolutely.
why we're here. We want to give everybody a resource of asking the right questions and a place to go to get those answers. So Rosanna, based on your expertise, as a gastroenterologist, so this is detoxing something that you believe in that people should be doing, and is there a reason why somebody maybe not want to detox?
Yeah, starting from why we should, well, Dr. Roni says why. Yes, we should, because we all know the body can work by itself. The body has their own way to do a lot of things. But we also know that today we are constantly bombarded for all. The body doesn't have time to do many things that needs to be done in certain a certain level, but also in certain time. We know that, and we need to do our best. And the best that we can do is exactly do the cleanup. There is a lot of basic and what regular doctors like me, doctors like Dr. Roni, and many more, everyone brings to the table the best way the body can be cleaned up. If we all together find out the best way, because I'm telling you one thing, before I went for the cleaning, before I talked to Claudia, I was already done my cleaning, the cleaning that I usually do. But my pain wasn't going away. Of course, my intestine, my body was getting better in that aspect, but I wasn't touching the part that was bothering me a lot. There was the body ache. So I think there are so many reasons why we need to do it. Now, there are many other reasons why people cannot do it. And that's why it's very, very important why we need to have assessment. We need to have assessment that someone that knows. And we all know that we are working in a company that we have very nice cleanup system. However, when the person have any other issues with the health, it's really a good idea that we ask someone that knows about it, because not everybody should go through a cleanup aggressively or like we all that complete. We need to be careful with certain things. Everybody is different. Everybody has different situations. There are situations that are inflammatory in the bowels that you cannot do a cleanup aggressively. There are another issues in the body. The body has been in stress, because it has some issues, maybe in such conditions like losing nutrition too much, losing fluids too much, or just becoming out of surgeries after have a baby. Those situations, it's a lot of things, many situations, and like we need to think twice before do what we do. Okay. Cleanup cannot be done just like it is if that person has another situation underlying.
Okay. Thank you, Rosanna. And that's and I know before I go into Dr. Roni, and you can give feedback as to the why nots and based on your experience, I just want to have an opportunity for Gabriela to have a voice here when it comes to toxins and detoxing. And I know we had a discussion about how we were, you were very into making sure your home products are toxic free as well. And, and we're not here to promote products today or introduce you to brands or anything right now today, but we want to just talk to you about the concepts of things that you need to be doing to live a toxic free life. And that also includes mentally, physically, and spiritually. Like there's so much toxins out there that we need to sort of make some better decisions. So Gabriela, what are your thoughts on the idea of detoxing, and what do you think about that?
Well, I believe it's very, very important to detox. And when we think of detox, we address the issues that Dr. Roni and Rosanna explained, but we also need to look at our mouth. Our mouth needs detoxing because everything we put in our mouth, we also carry parasites, and good and bad, and they come in through our mouth. They come in through our skin. And I remember telling you this morning, but, to detox parasites or any bad bacteria, you basically just take water and a couple tablespoons of baking soda or Celtic salt, swish it in your mouth for like 5 minutes. And if you do that periodically, you will kill parasites. They cannot live in an kind of a salty environment. And we also need to avoid seed oils. If we're going to detox, let's get rid of the garbage we're putting in our food. Like me, I have cleaned my house of Teflon pans, which is also a contributor to toxins. I'm now cooking with cast iron ceramic coated pans. And there's so many, pans you can buy with that kind of coating, and your food won't stick, okay? Mm-hmm. So cast iron ceramic pans are good. And again, avoid all seed oils and vegetable oils. And those are synthetic oils. So use natural. I make tallow from beef fat. I buy it at my butcher shop and I render it. And then I strain it, and I can, I actually do some videos on that. But if you guys want to learn, I can upload it to our group chat, and you guys can learn how to do that. But it's very important to remove toxins. If we're going to go through the trouble of, doing everything to detox, we also need to clean house in other ways. And again, detox of the mouth for me, my tip of this segment, and avoid all seed oils. And if you're confused about seed oils, just let us know and we'll go into more detail on that.
You know what? Thank you, Gabriela, because there is so many things that we're bombarded with in a lot of different avenues and directions. And then it's hard to filter out what we should or shouldn't be doing. And we're not trying to sway you into making those decisions, but if we have a dialogue or a place of community where we can have these discussions, then we will be able to potentially introduce you to some practices that work for some and maybe not for others. So that's why this venue is being created. So every Monday night we're going to be having different discussions in this Girl Talk, but then we're going to probably, we do have a community that we're going to be sending people to, and that right now is we're looking at Feel Good Share Good community. It's been kind of dormant. This is more of a good vibe community, but we will be sharing some tips like you're talking about, Gabriela, and talking about some videos that we can share with inside that community. And just stay tuned for that, because we're only in second week, but we will be putting more content into that community. And I'll put the link in the group chat later, but it will, if you're interested in learning more about it, it's called Feel Good Share Good community. And that will be a place where you can go to, and it'll be a place where people can have a discussion about healing options. So going back to the topic for tonight, Dr. Roni, because you are the guru, you are the diet detox guru, you are the doc. Everybody goes to you. They go to Martha's Vineyard, they'll fly in and pick your brain, to solve their immediate needs, which is typically to lose weight, but then ongoing, you're helping them overcome chronic illness. So tell me again, in certain circumstances, remember, some people are dealing with chronic illnesses and they think that it can go off and do a detox and it's going to solve the world. What would you recommend somebody do if they are dealing with a chronic illness, or maybe they're not feeling well? What should they be doing?
Well, the world is different today. When I first started, about 15 years ago when the book became a New York Times bestseller. The whole concept of detoxification was new. You know, we taught people how to detox their kidneys, and we taught them about their liver, their lungs, their lymphatic system, their blood, you know, and to detox parasites and to get gallbladder stones out. I mean, we just went through the whole thing because we have an unhealthy relationship with food. Food is very addictive, it's very persuasive, it's everywhere, right? So the problem with it is that we created this whole society of people that wanting to detox. So when I first started, you're right, it was all about weight loss. People were losing 21 pounds in 21 days, and it became huge. And I remember the publisher said to me, you know, because I didn't want to do this, by the way, for weight loss, because when I first started about 15 years ago, and I did all the research, I really just wanted to help people with their chronic illness. You know, I was saying, oh, I'm going to do 21 chronic illness and I'm going to do 21 detoxes. It was all about chronic illness. But it didn't work out that way, did it? It was like people wanted to lose weight, and that was the bottom line. And they did. Man, did they lose weight. But I remember the publisher said to me, and she was absolutely right when I said I didn't want to do weight loss for detoxing because I had so much knowledge in my head. I wanted to detox the organs, and I wanted to do chronic illness, to get to your question, right? And she said to me, I promise you, Dr. Roni, if you make the New York Times bestseller with getting people to lose weight, people will come to you for everything after that. And I didn't believe her, but she was absolutely right. We're going back many, many years. Now people, I don't care if they have the worst chronic illness. It could be Lyme disease, it could be cancer, it could be anything. And people still want to detox. So, but there's a right way and there's a wrong way to do it. So to answer your question, you can still detox people with a chronic illness. You just can't do it the same way with people who are trying to lose weight. You got to do an assessment. You got to do a detailed assessment. You have to do blood work. You have to basically know who they are at the cellular level. So to answer your question about who can do a detox, it's not who, it's how. So I won't take someone with active cancer or Lyme disease and put them in a group with everybody that's trying to lose weight, right? Because it's a different type of detox. And so when one of the things that came out with COVID a couple of years ago, now they have something called long haul post-COVID detox. It's the craziest thing. I mean, I can list 20 different detoxes. You can go and somebody say, well, we're going to do a green tea detox. Then somebody will say, we're going to do a milk thistle detox. And then someone, so the point I'm saying is that there's a lot of detoxes out there because we have an unhealthy relationship with food. We're very toxic people that live in a very toxic world. So we are now trying to ask ourselves, do we want to detox in general our lives just for basic cleanliness? Because when we go on a 21-day detox, it's on the surface. We're cleaning up the body from eating bad food, guys. Bad food. We're taking a break. We're giving our liver a break. We're giving our kidneys a break. We're giving our gut, our digestive system a break. And because of that, there's a lot of benefits that go with that. We start losing weight. That's why you didn't have pain. The reason why you didn't have pain was because you was decreasing the inflammation in the body that causes tremendous amount of pain. So there's a lot of benefits to detoxing. But the main reason that people detox is to get rid of the bloat, to get rid of the weight, to get rid of the water. I mean, some people can lose, like we said, 21 pounds in 21 days, but there's people that can lose 30 pounds in 21 days. You got to ask yourself why. It's because they're bloated and they're toxic and they're holding on to toxic water. So I hope that answered your question.
That's perfect. And you know what you were talking, and I think just to clarify for tonight with detoxing, a lot of people think detoxing is just you flushing out your system. Sorry, we'll make sure that the background noise is taken out, but it's not just flushing out. It's actually your when we detox, and I know your program, it's all about nutrients up, toxins out. Like it's like nutrients, so it's heavily loaded in nutrients. So we just have to be clear about.
I like the way you just said that. Nutrients in, toxins out. It's like a replacement, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something simple to think about, because we tend to think that toxin is like you just basically just going to get, like it's like Roto-Rooter, you're just going to get cleaned out and that they're toxic free. It's not the case.
It's
right?
not about the colon. That's old fashioned. There are detoxes that are just about the colon.
Yes.
But not a colon cleanse. That's called a colon cleanse. Then there's something called parasite cleanse. And then there's something called a liver cleanse. Then it's just crazy, right? But this detox, the 21 pound and 21 day detox, hits all the organs. And how does that happen? Is with the combination of nutrients that we're giving the body, so that at the cellular level, we're able to decrease inflammation. We're able to get rid of the free radicals. We're able to do some tissue repair. It's about rejuvenation and repairing you at the cellular level with the almost, I would say, over 30 different nutrients. When you drink a red, green, and yellow, you just add up the nutrients in a day, one day of having a detox of those amount of nutrients. The average person in the food desert don't get that amount of nutrients in a month. And it's painful for me to say that, but it's true. Yeah. So you can imagine the amount of nutrients that you're giving your body in 21 days. And guys, allopathic doctors don't know. They have no idea what it is to detox at that level. They'll say, oh, it's dangerous. And you go, what's so dangerous about giving your body nutrients? But it's not their fault. They don't get it. So, but now they're starting to. There's a lot of research.
I had to say that was my first detox.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's like, I know you said it, like, it's not your fault. That goes back to our first episode. Girl, it's not your fault that we're gaining weight. Girl, it's not your fault that your skin's getting all acne. Girl, it's not your fault that you got bloated and you can't get those jeans above your waist. It's not your fault. You just have to rethink about what we're putting in, and then how we're feeding ourselves, and then make those decisions. And the one thing that you said, Dr. Roni, that is prevalent to me is that people don't fully understand what that means. And we need to take the time to educate yourself and potentially reach out to those that are the experts, reach out to those that have a following. There's a reason why you have a book. There's a reason why, Gabriela, you have such a huge following of people that love you. There's a reason why Rosanna is loved by many, and she's a great network and she has this expertise. Reach out to those people within your circle that have seen results. And there's a reason, and it's not just about the process, it's about, the research behind it. So if you are going to take that time and effort in doing something that could change your life, make sure you align yourself with the right people, the right products, and the right passion behind it. So that to me is something that resonates to me. And that's the whole reason why we're doing this project, is about feeling good, sharing good, but finding the right community that helps you have those real talk discussion, because it is not your fault, and we need to be in a place where we feel like we can heal alternatively in some cases. So I know there's a few people on this call right now that have actually were part of this previous I guess beta test program that we did with the online, and I'd love to hear if anybody's willing to open up their hand to ask the question about whether or not whether or not they had a great experience on this program. So is anybody willing to put their hand up and maybe give some feedback? Mary, Diana, anybody here? No? Oh, Mary. So can you just unmute yourself?
Yeah, Dr. Roni, my hubby and I just finished a 7-day detox.
Congratulations.
I knew that once I started feeling that pain again in my body at work, coming home and back and forth, I was getting too much pain and not feeling good. So I said, well, it's time for another detox. And it's amazing how good we feel.
Yeah.
Just for 7 days, the red, yellow, and green drinks, and
Yeah.
and then the broth, and a week later, and I'm feeling much, much better.
That's amazing, because basically you've decreased your inflammation. And we'll talk the next time about why it is that people have pain. That's a whole session on why people have pain. There's just that our food, I know that we live in what's called food chaos. And a lot of times we don't understand that it is the food that's creating the inflammation. And there's a combination of a lot of things. People don't understand the amount of stress that can create inflammation in the body. So many things can do that. And when you don't have enough nutrients or minerals in the body, that's another way you can create inflammation. I can write a book just on inflammation. But when you go on a detox like this, we get rid of a lot of those foods that are causing the inflammation.
Yes.
And that's why we have a lot of people out there that will do this program 4 times a year.
Yeah.
I do have a couple of questions, if you don't mind. I'm going to go back to Ginger. You have asked a question, and thank you, Gabriela, you responded to her, but it's a good question to ask. You said, I'm plant-based, so how will I avoid seed oils? And so, Gabriela, if you want to explain what you said in the chat, because not everybody's able to see the chat.
Well, avocado oil is good alternative, and olive oil. Olive oil is very good for you. And make sure, though, that it's 100%, because they will sneak in canola oil in with those oils. I buy mine. The brand's called Chosen avocado oil, and I do buy it at Smart and Final here in California. You can buy it at Costco. But those are the 2 oils off the top of my head I can think about, but those are an alternative. The avocado oil does have a higher heat. I think it's up to 400 and something degrees. So if you're going to fry with it, you can. So that's.
What about coconut oil? Because I pretty much do a lot of I've transitioned everything.
It's a great alternative.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else has another oil they like using, but coconut oil is actually great for making pastries or cakes too, an alternative for seed oils.
Perfect. Yeah, I think there's a lot of other benefits for coconut too. There's a lot of things that we could have discussions on when it comes to healthy alternatives, and this is why I think it's good that we're going to create a forum that we can have these discussions, because it's important to know. Like, I didn't know, like, Dr. Roni introduced me to all these things I did not know I should not be having. I did not know I needed that, right? I could not believe it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But then I realized by removing all these things off my diet, I actually now can taste food. I finally can, and some other foods now. I hated avocados until I removed all this other stuff, and all of a sudden my body's craving avocados. I'm an avocado aficionado. I like that word. I love avocados. So, but yeah, it's amazing what your body changes with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have another question. I'm just going to go through here. Oh, what about losing muscle while detoxing? That comes from Anna. Losing muscle while detoxing. Maybe we can give that to Dr. Roni. Is that a concern?
People, that's really old-fashioned thinking, because they've done a lot of research and you don't lose a lot of muscle. Your body's so toxic, so busy losing toxins and waste, that you don't really have to worry about that, and unless you have a prolonged detox. That's why we stop at 21 days and then we go on a PEVI diet. And PEVI introduces clean protein for P, E, essential fats that we just finished talking about, V for vegetables, and Y, which is important because it's your supplements or your essentials. So, I think guys who work out, they started that rumor many years ago about the losing of the muscle, but we've tested so many people along over the years, and the average person is not a concern for it. Like I said, if they're already debilitated, number one, and if they're on a prolonged detox.
Okay, good question. I also just want to make a nice little statement here from Diana, who said that she did the Dr. Roni program, the beta test program, and I was able to lose 21 pounds in 21 days. Also, and the best thing too is that the maintenance program has helped me to be able to maintain my weight. But by the way, that's actually a gift that I know they did with that program. She gave them access to a maintenance program that they could take on and use this at home to make sure that they maintain. And that's the PEBI program that you were talking about, right, Dr. Roni? And
That's
she also
correct.
said, and even if I gain a few pounds, she now knows what to do to watch her weight. My blood pressure was great, smooth nails, etc. So this is the cool thing, is that you're now educating yourself to see what works, and you're feeling better, and then you now have a solution. So that was one big takeaway of that whole exercise that we did. And I before we get into other things, there's another quick question here from Claudia. Now, if you want to put your hand up and ask the question, you can. There's nothing stopping you from putting your hand up and asking the question right now, because we have about 15 minutes. I'd love this to be an open chat.
Okay, thank you.
It is a real talk, girl talk night. So
okay. One of the questions that I have, many people,
yes, awesome. All right, Claudia, ask the question. That's good.
Okay, many people that, some people know are overweight. So when we suggest to detox, they always thinking, oh, I am very skinny. If I detox, I'm gonna lose more weight. So it's one of the questions. Always the people, I always tell them we need to recommend, when we recommend the detox, because our body needs to be clean. Our organs work so hard and they can be, function better. But some people always thinking like that. I am skinny. I know eat too much. I always, I know feel hungry all the time. I know eat, during the day many times, things like that. So what do you recommend to them?
So that's a really good question. And I have a doctor that comes every year for a long time, Doctor. She's skinny and she does a detox every year. And she says, hey, it's really all about cleaning my body. It's about a reset, right? And so we always want to talk about resetting and restoring our wellness. And, we don't always have to think about weight loss, because that's just a side effect. Weight loss is a side effect of the program. But what's the real benefit? The real benefit is replacement of the nutrients, putting back lots of minerals and antioxidants, and removing a lot of toxicity and free radicals, and decreasing the inflammation. It's all about wellness, really. And that's what we should really be thinking about. This program is about wellness. The fact that we lost weight is just an added benefit or side effect, whichever way you want to look at it. Now, in order to keep someone from losing lots of weight, there's nothing wrong with adding some protein smoothies. And that's how we've done it before. We give them clean protein with clean essential fatty acids. And that's how you keep them from losing weight. But you can still cleanse with the other red, yellow, and green.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. My connection's a little bit off right now, so bear with me if I seem choppy. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. So, because I know there's a lot of storms out there, so we want to continue these discussions every week, and we will be, for those that are on this call or those listening to the live calls right now, please join our community. I put the link in our chat box. But if you're listening to this, the community called Feel Good, Share Good community. And there's an opportunity for you to learn a little bit about, alternative options for healing, but it's really a place where we just get together and make sure that we share good vibes and good, good practices to help us feel good. Okay. So I just want to also, any more questions? I do have a statement from Diana. Like, Diana, you got a lot of great points that you're sharing in here. I'd love for you to start sharing some of these inside the community. So in some cases, not everybody can see the chat messages, but you're sharing some really great feedback that other people I think would like to see. So please go into that community and share those little tips that you've learned from Dr. Roni. Rosanna, like, share any tips that you have that people can learn from this call tonight. Or for those that have done the program or even have learned some lessons in detoxing. I know Claudia is our detox queen that, she did the program with us. But she's a wealth of knowledge as a detox coach. We're going to start sharing more information in that community. And this is where we're going to learn and heal in a lot of aspects of our life. I just also want to make a quick notion that there was somebody that actually wasn't acting appropriately on this call, and I did remove them. Thank you for the flag that I was given. So just to be fair, like, toxins come in many forms, and it's not just in physical and food. It can also be with people. So we don't tolerate anybody being toxic in any way, shape, or form. So please, if that happens, please flag one of the co-hosts or myself, and we'll make sure that person is removed ongoing. Okay, so I just want to be clear. It's about having a healthy environment, and this is about girl talk, real talk, and we won't take anything negative in terms of toxins going forward. So I just wanted to make sure that happens.
Emotional toxins.
Yes, it's real talk. We're here to help support each other. Okay. So I just wanted to, because I know I got flagged, and you might see something on a video. I don't want to anybody get let you be aware that we do not accept that, and we'll make sure we make actions accordingly. Okay. All right. So we got 10 minutes. Any more questions that you have? You've got Rosanna, guest speaker, with a beautiful story. Now she's a part-time professional, but full-time mom. You have her attention. You have Dr. Roni, celebrity doctor to the masses and Mecca for many at Martha's Vineyard. You have Gabriela, the health and wellness guru, passionate mother who has so much knowledge. I can't get over it. So if you have any questions about any subject, please, we've got 10 minutes. Got any more questions that we want to share?
I have a question for Dr. Roni. Dr. Roni, I'm really fan of vegetables more than anything else, more than fruits. I love vegetables. I love all of them. And there is one vegetable that I love it. And just recently, I knew, I have to be honest, and I said recently, I knew that two of them, you tell me. I really like how you talk to us because you talked from the heart. There is one that I don't use that one too often, but I read about it, and I just need to make sure. And I want to ask you.
No. What do you mean no?
The peanut butter in powder. Is that one of those products that can cause strong inflammation in the body? And also I hear the spinach, because it creates oxalates. Is that what do you think about those two things?
So that's when we talk about food like this in a very detailed manner, I guarantee you 90% of all of our foods will be bad. Okay. If you go out there on the internet, depending on what guru you're talking to, they're going to find a list of 20 different foods that are all bad. Yes, spinach have oxalates in it, but who's eating that much, right? Number one. Yes, peanut butter can be toxic depending on where you get it from. So these are yes questions, but what I always tell people is everything in moderation. If it was extremely toxic, I would not. I mean, I still eat spinach. Yeah, I know it's high oxalate, but I'm not eating that much where I have to worry about that, right? The other thing is someone said to me, oh my goodness, I can't believe I had those tomatoes the other night. I says, okay. Yes, tomatoes is the nightshade, but you had a few tomatoes, little pieces in your salad. If we get that picky all the time, we're not going to be able to eat anything ever, because there's something wrong with about 60% of our food. You know, when I started this whole conversation, I said, we have an unhealthy relationship with food. It's called food chaos. That's where we're at. We do the best that we can. We get as much organic as we can. And yeah, let's not overdose on nightshades. Let's not overdose on spinach. So we have to have that knowledge. But man, if we take it to the extreme, like some people are, it gets to be food chaos.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
have-
That made me feel good because I love spinach.
I have two more questions, and then we'll just close off the evening. The question I have is from, I'll just read the question. It said, at times I suffer from gout attacks. Will detoxing help me get off medication? And what's the right age when it comes to children detoxing? So that's three questions right there. Will detoxing help somebody get off medication if they have gout, Dr. Roni?
Yes, absolutely. There's a big yes to that. Detoxing has gotten people off of many medications, not just gout, blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication, diabetes medication. It's a big fat yes. You got to be careful and you got to be followed by your coach or your naturopath, but you can get off of medication. I mean, I just had someone got off of 4 different medications in the last month. And and the other question was children. Yeah, I'm putting my granddaughter on a detox when she comes next summer. Okay. I'm getting all that sugar out of her body.
How old is she?
She's 10. That's right. I'm gonna put her on. Gotta get her. So, I'm gonna have her. I gotta have a healthy relationship. You got to be careful with kids, but at the same time, it depends on how you do it. But they have to have a healthy relationship with vegetables. They're on way too much processed food, way too much carbohydrates, way too much salt.
Yeah. So again, just so that we're clear, Dr. Roni has been doing this for how many years, Dr. Roni? And you're an expert at this. So if you need counsel, of anything to do with medical, make sure you reach out to an expert, your doctor, your family doctor, physician, and make sure that you are getting the right counsel. As Dr. Rosanna mentioned, that you are getting the right advice. We're not here to advise you tonight. It just means that we're giving you some insights as to some of the practices, and just beg to question. That's all we want you to do, is beg to question and then know where to find the answers. Okay, go somewhere to get the answers. So I like the idea of transferring that knowledge to children. That is one thing that I noticed once I changed my habits in my household, everybody else follows suit. My husband lost 50 pounds. It's amazing how that transitions, but it starts with us because we make the food, right? Some cases, right? So when we take time for our life and we take time for life, and this is important. So I'm going to close out the evening. I think I've received with one more last question, and then I think that's it. We're not going to talk about products tonight, but if you do have any questions about certain things, please reach out to the person that invited you to this call. If there's something specific and maybe they have a solution based on what they know, please ask them, because they may have something that they can support you with. Also, the other thing is that next week we're going to be talking about immunity. There's a lot of talk right now with concerns about the flu season coming. We're talking about COVID. I know that's a word we don't like to say, but it's there. There's a lot of, discussions about things getting back and ramping up, but we want to prepare you. We want to make sure you have the right information and that you have the right resources in the community to have those real talk discussions. And that's why we want you to come next week, and we'll be having a guest speaker. We're going to finalize that, and we'll let you know in the next couple of days who that person's going to be. But every week we'll have a guest speaker that has a background in some alternative medicine or. First of all, I want to say thank you, everybody. Thank you to Dr. Rosanna. Thank you for Dr. Roni. And thank you, Gabriela, for always your wisdom and insights. And I can't wait for next week. And please stay tuned and join our community. All right. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Nice to see
Good night,
everybody.